And welcome inside.
Such a good.
Absolutely nothing but we are in a position. North Division.
Scotia North Division. Great. So they kind of played well enough to win the first, but last night we came out. Well, they're not as good as they thought they would. Showed up.
Apologize for the technical difficulties there. As always, the pregame show is a work in progress. We're trying to make sure it's a perfect product for you because we enjoy doing this and we know you guys enjoy this. But we're back. Jay, before we got cut off here by the sketchy Wi-Fi, you were fired up about, I believe it was Dominic Cahoon, correct?
Well, I'm fired about a lot of things. Like, it was exciting to see Cahoon back in the lineup. I was excited to see him paired back up with Draisaitl. I might be repeating myself because I don't know when the feed cut off the last time, but this is the whole reason why Dominic Cahoon came to Edmonton. This is why Leon asked his boy.
Not working.
It's green.
I know, but it's lagging on Facebook. People are saying it's broken. Okay, we're good. Go ahead. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Are we good?
Let us know, please. You guys are going to need to update us here.
Are we good? I was like, Josh, today, let's try to do a real tight show.
Yeah.
Granted, we're at Little Brick, where the Wi-Fi can be sketchy because it's a super old house. So Little Brick Cafe, come for the Wi-Fi, but really just stay for the beautiful patio and the delicious breakfast sandwich. And our coffee,
which is super
course.
good. The breakfast sandwich is the best in the city.
I crush it 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay, we should be good. Go ahead.
We're good. So to talk about last night again. Last night was exciting for many reasons. Statement game after losing a game that we should have probably won in Game 1 against Calgary. And coming out, shelled Calgary, slapped them around, made them show like they're the smaller, lacquer, less skilled team that they are. Edmonton showed that they are exactly who we think they are. Put 7 past Markstrom. That's fantastic. But the beautiful things that happened in that game. Nuge, 5-on-5 goal.
Yes.
The fact that Cahoon's back in the lineup, what that is, allowed him to split up the first line, to have Draisaitl drive the line and McDavid drive that line and get McNuge back together, which is just a beautiful combination. So they combine for a 5-on-5 goal. Take that, Nuge haters. Keep Nuge forever.
Keep Nuge forever. I have always been saying it.
Exactly. He's been saying it since day one. But having Cahoon come back in the lineup and reunite with Leon, the whole reason why Cahoon came back or was willing to come to Edmonton was Leon told him to, but also because of the connection that those two had because they've been playing hockey since they were 2. We saw that connection last night. Leon, he wasn't looking. That was a no-look pass. I was stunned. That's like Sedin connectivity, chemistry. Like that one-touch backhand pass belongs as an NFT to talk like the kids do these days and belongs in a virtual museum. That thing was a thing of beauty.
NBA Top Shot, Edmonton Oilers edition, that's selling for millions.
That's selling for millions. That was so beautiful. But it was good to see Cassian come in back in the lineup and be the factor like we wanted him to be. Cahoon goal, beautiful to see. And how about Tyson Barrie? Tyson Barrie for 2 reasons. He's doing exactly what we had hoped he would do. He got 4 points. He's producing points like crazy. He's the leading scorer, but somehow we're shitting on him, though, at the same time. It's a very interesting subject, Tyson Barrie, and I think it's because we only have him for a 1-year deal.
Jake, you know my stance on this? I am the biggest Tyson Barrie fan in all of Edmonton. I was defending him on Twitter last night. I was defending him on Twitter today. Anyone, if you want, I want to keep this positive, but if you want to come at me about Tyson Barrie, I am more than willing to go. I was going to say 3 rounds, 1 round because I'll win it. Tyson Barrie is a king. And we are going to re-sign him. Well, I hope at least in the offseason. Yeah,
it makes sense. Like he's pleading a case as long as the finances make sense. But 4-point performance by Tyson Barrie. Mike Smith played solid. How pumped was he after that game?
So pumped.
Once the buzzer went, you heard him. Like I wish you were in the building, even though the Saddledome's the worst building in the universe.
Terrible.
But that's the emotion we need. And that just shows that he's a leader, and that stuff's infectious. So there are so many good things that come from that game, but mainly just a statement to let Calgary know that, like, hey, yeah, you got lucky on the first one. This is who we are, and this is who you have to deal against. And BOA is only the Oilers.
I got two things to say quickly. First of all, speaking on Tyson Barrie. So Tyson Barrie right now, 28 points in 32 games. If you were to, if you were kind of, yeah, is that good? I don't know. I'll tell you if it's good. If you were to stretch that out, Tyson Barrie would be on pace for 71 points in an 82 game season. Do you know the last NHL, or do you know the last Edmonton Oilers defenseman to break 60 points was?
Paul Coffey.
Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey.
Decent company.
Is that good? He would have, I think it was the fifth best season by an Oilers defenseman in regards to points. Of course, Paul Coffey, he had 138 points in one season.
Yeah.
Like he ranged all the way throughout that. Yeah. But like literally, if you look at last night's game, Jay, you could go through and you could power rank like 10 great different storylines from that game. JP on that power play goal, diving out with the stick.
Beautiful
and then
tip.
A beautiful tip. Zach Kassian getting back in the lineup and getting one early just to get some confidence back in it. You know, Nuge, 5-on-5 goal. The power play was buzzing. Like there was Darnell Nurse scoring another beautiful goal. There was so many storylines.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments your favorite storyline from last night's game.
Bear bounce back game. Bear played great.
Bear played excellent. I made a tweet about it. That read that he had on that Matthew Tkachuk when he tried to do that stupid between the legs to get down, that's watching tape.
Yeah.
Great bounce back game for Bear.
Gaetan Haas, third line center.
Third line center, Gaetan Haas. Literally, let us know your favorite storyline from last night's game. But let's talk about tonight, Jay. Back in Edmonton, I originally thought this game was on the road. I don't know why. I had a tweet in my drafts. Ready to go, talking about getting Bouchard in the lineup for tonight. Glad I didn't tweet it because I would have looked like a fool. It was all about, traveling. You want to get him in on a back-to-back, travel time, take it one
travel back home. It's still the same shit.
So, yeah, lots of Barrie love in the comments. Chris is loving it. Jeff's loving it. Lots of Barrie love.
Love it.
Let's talk lines. So, last night we saw McNuge reunited with JP.
And it feels so good.
Felt so good. Do you expect the same lineup tonight? I don't think it can go.
How can you mess with it? Yeah. Like, that was a great game. Like that, the lineup we iced last night was buzzing. So and we're playing. We've got to give Winnipeg some credit right now. Yep. They're playing really good right now, and they're making their move in the standings. And we got to give them our best shot. So why not dress the same team that put 7 up against the Flames?
Winnipeg, very, very different team than Calgary. Winnipeg up front probably has the best top 6 in the NHL. Arguably. Yep. They are deep up front. And especially, this is the first time the Oilers are going to see the Winnipeg Jets with Pierre-Luc Dubois. So this is the first time that they've seen that center depth.
And he's starting to become a factor. He's starting to put up points, and he's starting to be who they hoped he would be.
This is going to be an interesting matchup because these are two, like I mentioned, two teams that are deep up front. Seeing how those top 2 lines can match up against each other, it's almost like you wonder this game could go 2 different ways. Either those top 2 lines are going to battle it out, and it's just going to be a matter of who can score more goals, because I have a feeling tonight's going to be pretty high scoring again, or it's going to be which bottom 6 can kind of have more of an impact on the game. And I would take the Oilers bottom 6 over Jets.
Right now, it's playing good. I'm buzzing, and recency bias is a powerful drug. But I think we're gonna give the Jets a run, and I think we can win this game. But this is now an important game. This is a team that's surging in the standings, that's taken our position of second place in the North. So this is a big game for us to kind of show how we match up with them. And now, Dubois injecting the lineup. This is their second line: Kyle Connor, goal scoring machine; Pierre-Luc Dubois, legit first line center, being second line. And Nikolai Ehlers. That's pretty high power. But once we can get past that, I think we can beat them everywhere else. And their defense isn't the greatest, so we can expose these guys. They got Hellebuck, who's a Vezina goalie, but we've proven we can put. Oh no, it's actually Brossoit starting tonight.
Oh, is it?
Brossoit starting tonight. That's right. So we got Brossoit in. Sure, he's gonna be pissed off.
Former team.
Former Oil Kings, who's got a lot of love for this place, but also former team with how we just kind of let him go. And maybe that was a mistake, maybe not. Who knows? But he might try and show up, but it's Operation Shell this guy. He's facing our top 6 is legit as well.
Yes.
The fact that we can split up the 2 and have those 2 power lines, and the Cahoon and Draisaitl are just reconnected, and they're just this is going to be a great game.
This is the start of a very busy month and a heavy schedule for the Edmonton Oilers. We see obviously the Calgary game last night, the Jets tonight. They're going to play the Jets again on the 20th, and then it's a stretch of a busy 8 to 12 days here for the Oilers at the end of the month. 3 matchups against the Habs and then 2 against Toronto. they were saying this morning on the radio, or I heard it this afternoon on Gregor's show, if you can go 3-4 over this set, we're going to be in a great spot. If you can go 500, we'll be in a great spot.
Yep.
Honestly, we've set ourselves up to a point now, Jay, where if we win tonight's game, we're tied for first in the North Division.
Wow.
Imagine that if you would have said, because less than a week ago, less than 2 weeks ago, people were saying that Toronto's the absolute runaway favorite. I saw it on Twitter, people were saying that the Leafs are going to win the Cup. And now all of a sudden, the Oilers, the winner of tonight's game, is tied with Toronto atop the North Division.
Yeah, no, it's another reason, more motivation to get up and try to take down the Jets tonight. It's interesting kind of how the division's shaping up, right? Toronto shot out of a cannon, playing good hockey, and then we had that series where we didn't play our best, but they just systematically took us down, which was scary.
Yep.
But then we just have been going on a heater ever since. So, and they've been sliding. I can't wait to see how we match up again against Toronto, to see if they are the real deal, if it was just luck that they put it together as well as they did for 3 games, because they clearly couldn't do it and still are having a tough time.
Let's do our Deuce Vodka player modes. I'll jump into mine first. Do you have yours ready to go? I'll go first if you're okay with it.
Yep.
I'm just going to keep riding my boy, Tyson Barrie. I want him to enter #Barrie for Norris mode.
Why not?
Barrie he's playing unbelievable right now. We're starting the movement. I saw Chris Noss in the comments, #Barrie for Norris.
That guy's got so much confidence with the puck. It's hilarious.
There's literally, the Edmonton Oilers have not had this elusive of an offensive defenseman since Paul Coffey. You could go into the tweet replies of when the Oilers named Tyson Barrie their Gatorade player of the game last night, go through all the replies, and I would say more than half of them are, don't care, trade Barrie. It's ridiculous.
Why would we trade him?
It's ridiculous.
We need him for the playoff run.
And I don't want to be, I don't want to be negative, but this is just an indication of you not understanding how valuable a right-handed offensive defenseman is. They've been looking for this for years. Okay, you're going to say he's riding the coattails of McDavid and Draisaitl. Tell me why Oscar Klefbom didn't put up 28 points in 32 games last season. Tell me why Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doesn't have 28 points in 32 games. He is an unbelievable player. He is underrated. I'll take that to the grave. Tyson Barrie, #Barrie for Norris mode.
And yes, we can isolate sometimes his defensive gaps, but he makes up for it in his points. It's the full body of work we have to look like. The one thing that he does drive me nuts is he loves to intercept or make that back pass to McDavid weird sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He likes to get it on. I don't know why. Remember, Connor's behind you, so don't touch it.
Yeah.
But that's whatever. That's really digging in. But no.
We love him.
4 points last night. 28, 29 points?
Do you want to hear something crazy?
Yes.
I actually phoned. So the Oilers store in Kingsway Mall shut down. I actually phoned. I don't want to give a free plug here, but I phoned a business at Edmonton that does jersey cresting. I literally tried to get myself a Barrie jersey made for today's show.
Wow.
I was gonna spend the money. We don't even.
That's love.
That's my love for Tyson Barrie. We don't even know if he's gonna re-sign. He could be a 1-year guy, but I thought, man, if I roll into today's show wearing a 22 Barrie Oilers jersey, Jay's gonna lose his mind. I phoned them. I'm like, can you get it done for this afternoon? They're like, we could do 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay, never mind.
That was like me when we made the Neil for Lucic trade. I had to get a Neil jersey on principle.
Oh, yeah. Did you actually get one?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I love wear it. I wear it to Vegas when we play Vegas because we used to play there. I wear it in Calgary especially because that really rubs it in the noses. But anyways.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go. So my Deuce Vodka player mode is I'm gonna take a tandem, and it's gonna be the McNuge tandem.
Nice.
I just want I want them to keep buzzing. Like let's go full 5-on-5 domination mode. Those two together are so good. Both real cerebral hockey players. And Puljujärvi, just be the trigger man. Just be in the right spot. They'll find you, big guy. Use that boot like you did on the power play there to create space to own the front of the net, so you can have that beautiful tip like you had. Like that's what these guys are going to create for you. So I'm wanting Mick Nuge just to go on 5-on-5 destruction mode.
Love it. I love it. Scott Halderson says, "Wow, that's a big change about Barrie that you had a week ago." I've always been.
I've always been up and down
Barrie,
a little bit on it, but like you can't just trade him right now. Like he's like I get it. He might not re-sign. Might not re-sign. That's the reality. But treat him as a rental. The guy's putting up points.
He's a free rental. Even if he doesn't re-sign, he's a free rental.
Exactly.
And he's going to have one of the best seasons you've seen out of the defenseman.
And we got him on a sweetheart deal for this season.
Yes. Chris Wren says, if you're Barrie, would you take a hometown deal? Barrie's from the coast.
He's from Kelowna. From the coast.
He's
from
the
he played
coast.
for Kelowna.
like, if you're Tyson Barrie, you kind of have one of two options. If he wanted to enter free agency and sign a 1-year deal, he would get $7 million on the free market on a 1-year deal.
I bet you he can get multi-year $7 million after this year. I bet you he could. So
other teams could use the McDavid factor as a little bit of leverage, but at the same time, like, if you like a guy with his skill is going to put up points no matter where he goes.
He'll put up more points with us.
Yeah,
that's
obviously.
the thing. Like the funnest hockey and greatest chance, short-term chance for a championship for a team that could afford him, provided he takes a decent of a discount, would be the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes,
and he's now part of the team. He doesn't have to like start new and go through the same shit that he did with the Leafs.
Yeah, and he ain't going back to Toronto. If you want to talk about teams that could use him and would love to have him, he ain't going back to Toronto. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he ain't going back to Colorado.
Yeah.
And Vegas sure couldn't afford it. Yeah. They just signed Pietrangelo to a 1,000-year deal.
Yeah. If it's $7 million, we can't do it.
If it's $7 million, we can't do it.
If
it's 1 year, $7 million, I'd do it. Anyways, let's talk
potentially
1 year. Okay, let's quickly talk about betting. Oilers home heavy favorites, minus 149.
I know, it's so annoying.
It's annoying.
They're playing
they're playing a good team.
They're playing a team that's ahead of us in the standings. I don't get it.
I don't. They probably, you know why? Cool or Odd Shark in these places are smart, and you know why? Because they know that we are.
Well, they road dogged them yesterday.
They road dogged them.
They got the shit kicked out of them on the books, so they have to balance it out, and this is how they're getting their money back.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a matter of them knowing that people are gonna want to hammer the Oilers tonight.
Yeah.
So they're home favoriting. Like, listen, I'll never ever bet against the Oilers. If you want to have good value here, you're looking at the Jets as a road dog. Like, geez.
So I've got, so talking about the game, I told you how I said there's a guy that I know that's part of the nation here who likes to make a heavy wager.
Yes.
And
does he have a play for tonight?
I had a chat with him today, and we'll post out the ticket. But here, I'll pull it up. This is what he thinks. He's got $14,000 on tonight's game for the Oilers at minus on money line. Oilers minus 142. He got on the money line. And he put $11.5K down, and we'll post this on the game being under.
Get out of town. And these are legit.
You want to talk about retirement bets? Yeah. So I told him.
We gotta post these.
Oh yeah. So I told him anytime you do a big Oilers bet, send it our way because we just got to see it. It's very aspirational for me.
Oh, dude.
I would be losing my.
That is insane. The best thing that I love about it is you can tell that this guy's a sports bettor because he's down to the literally the decimal, the cents. Mm-hmm. It's not just 14 flat. It's like $14,132.65.
It is. Yeah, it's a whole science.
That's a math.
Yeah.
There's a science behind it.
Like if you risk this much, then the reward is worth it. And anything less or more, it's too the bet's too risky.
And the crazy thing is that for this guy, that's probably one of probably like 5 or 6 $15,000 bets that he has on tonight's game.
Nuts.
That's one day, Jay, we'll get there.
Oh yeah, we got to work on it. We'll do this as a team.
Buy Nation gear, and we'll be close to it. Yeah. Hey, the more Nation gear you buy, and the more Nation beer you buy, the bigger bets, the bigger
more money we'll lose gambling.
Yes.
Just for you.
Just for you. Okay. Any player props you're gonna go on tonight?
Player props, yeah. So last game I went Darnell Nurse point, cha-ching, and I went Yamo point, and it didn't happen. So I was kind of pissed off.
Yamo didn't get a point.
He didn't get a point in 7-3 game. He didn't get a point. I know, which was kind of mind-blowing. So,
I was on Gaetan Haas goal,
well, which I respect. He's now the third-line center. Like, that's not bad. He's got Ennis as a winger. Like, there's some creativity there. And they had that nice play as well to try to... Ennis almost had a goal off a nice Gaetan Haas kind of zone entry and slide over.
Gator had a couple chances.
And he had a good shot there. Anyways,
on the PK,
big Haas guy over here.
Big
so
Haas
you can come at me with that. I'll take that all day. So I'm going to double down the Yamo point because look who he's playing with. It's hard to argue. I don't mind doubling up on Cahoon to score again.
Okay.
He's back in the lineup. He's got more motivation. He wants to stay. Leon wants him to stay clearly because look at what the stretches he had to go yesterday to pull something off to get him to score a goal. But I just believe it. He's hungry. Draisaitl wants him to score. I feel like a Cahoon goal is a worthy bet, and that's like plus 350, so that's a juicy return.
Heavy line movement in comparison to yesterday. Yesterday, if you wanted to place a bet on either Barrie or Nurse to get a single point, you were going to get plus odds, plus 100, so flat, give and take. Right now, according to Odd Shark, we have Tyson Barrie coming in at minus 133.
Yeah.
That's
They got to start including Barry in the over 1.5 conversation.
Yes, they do.
That's where they got to start doing that because that's where the good
Because
value
you can probably
is.
get some good money on
But
that.
minus 133 still isn't that bad. Like I said yesterday, because I thought I read this, I could have sworn they said Nurse was going to quarterback the power play yesterday, and that's why I said you should bet him as a point. And thankfully, he still got the point.
If Barry didn't end up playing.
But I thought
know
I
we
read
talked
it,
about
yeah.
this. We talked about this, but
Barry's our quarterback.
thank goodness Barry quarterback.
Barry's our quarterback, and
He's Tom Brady right now. He can't miss.
He can't miss.
I'm gonna place a couple different wagers on player goals tonight. I love player goals. They're so
they're
fun.
fun.
I look at Pugliarvi plus 300, Cahoon
like
plus 350, Gator Haas is plus 500. I am gonna give my boy Tyson Barrie a look at 450. So
Why not?
I don't. He's hot. So I'm probably gonna give Barrie a look at 450. I might give Archibald a look at 450. I like Archie's game right now.
He's getting chances. So he's due. I like Archie.
Okay, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Well, should we do? What do we got for listener questions?
For questions, okay.
Or if there's any.
Okay, Chris says, Drager just said, next week sometime Oilers will reach out to pending free agent Tyson Barrie. So we did hear about this, is that Ken Holland and Tyson Barrie's camp hadn't had any conversations yet about an extension. They asked Barrie about it. He said, we're not talking about that right now. Two camps haven't even talked at all. And you imagine that at some point here, Holland's going to want to reach out to Barrie and see, what the opportunity is to potentially get an extension done. Because, they're not going to trade Barrie at the deadline. No, they're not trading Barrie at the deadline unless some absurd team comes along and is like, we want Barrie and we'll give you 1,000 picks for it. It's not happening. I don't even know if they do it then. Mm-hmm. But, if you can get an extension done before the deadline, that would be, it'd be kind of nice.
Oh, it's super nice.
Chris says, Jets usually get into penalty trouble and we beat up on them with the man advantage. Yes.
Well, that's what we can hope for. Somehow Toronto held us to 0 power plays over 3 games, whatever. That's a lie. It was only a couple, but it was shocking how low it was. But if they call the game somewhat right, we're gonna get power plays, and we buzz on the power play. So keep us off the ice. No, keep our power play off the ice.
Yes.
That'd be my pro tip to you, Winnipeg, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yep.
So thank you for taking lots of penalties.
Send in a few more questions. We got a few more minutes here. Chris says, Archie scores tonight. Who was Archie playing with again? It's the third line.
Gaetan Haas and Cassian.
I like that line.
No, sorry. Gaetan, is it?
Devon Shore.
No, it's...
Look at the GD.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry, I moved on. I got the big bet in front of me. It's Ennis, Haas, and Cassian. Yes.
Okay. We got Keegan Burton coming in with a question here. How do you feel about people using Bear as a scapegoat lately? I think he's getting better, especially coming back from injury.
Well, he's night and day in the 2 games against Calgary.
Yes.
All right, so he's coming back from it. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
So yeah, he's kind of having he's taking a little bit of time to kind of get his legs under him, but last night was a great indication. That was a huge step for Bear. So let's just hope he can continue on that momentum. Because if Bear can play like he did last year, holy shit, that helps us out so much.
So it's a certified top 4 defenseman if he can play like he did last year. Yep. And listen, people could say that I've been a guy that has used Bear as a scapegoat. I wouldn't say that. I love Bear's game. I thought he had an unbelievable game last night. He bounced back from a not great performance against Calgary in the first half of that matchup. The thing that I've always talked about, or the thing that the ongoing conversation has been the Bear versus Nurse debate, because I think that Bear's, his Corsi's expected goals for percentage are kind of getting blown up right now, saying that he's having a better season than maybe he is, because he has taken a minor step back as compared to last year. Because what we saw to Ethan Bear last year was unbelievably encouraging, because he is a good defenseman. He's played 109 career NHL games.
Yep.
He's got so much time to go.
So much time.
They always say you can't evaluate a defenseman until he's played 300 games. So, with Ethan Bear, you take the good and the bad right now because he's still learning.
Yep.
And
there's a player there.
Yeah, there's a player there. Yep. There's 100% a player there. Howard McKinnon says, any word on Kara? That knockout was messy. He's skating. He's skating.
So that's promising.
Yeah.
So obviously there is an injury there, but the fact that he's back and able to skate, that's a huge thing. So,
well, I wouldn't even say I don't know if there's an injury there, because they were saying that, you know,
there's precautionary,
there's precautionary
protocol and all that
because
stuff, and maybe
I'll go out on a limb here and say it's not a concussion, because if it was a concussion, he wouldn't be skating.
yeah, that's right.
So I think it's just precautionary because of, you know, the severity of the situation. You know, it's scary when stuff like that happens. So I think they're just being ultra careful with it. And then once he gets clearance, I think he'll be good to go again. So
Yeah, we'll see.
Chris says, why do I get hate when I recommend trading Bear? I love him, but value-wise, right-handed defensemen are worth more than left-handed defensemen. It's nothing personal. So I think what Chris is saying is that the value that Bear brings being a right-handed defenseman, you know, on the trade market, he would just bring so much more in return. As compared to trying to trade a guy like Caleb Jones.
It's we went from having no right shot D to now having
so many good
solid amount of right shot D.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, if it's a legitimate hockey trade that really bolsters the need that we have, I guess, but like, why?
Yeah, I'm not trading it.
Yeah, why?
It's so tough, man. I would much rather. And listen, I don't want to trade
Like
anyone.
to
I love
draft
this team,
and
but
develop another, like, the whole process takes so long. So
and
to
finding
give one up,
and finding a gem like Ethan Bear in the 5th round, man. Do you know how many 5th rounders played even 100 games in the NHL, man?
Yeah.
Like maybe 5%.
Very little. Yeah.
Very. I'm not a math guy. It's
Yeah.
probably, I don't know. But anyways, Keegan says, agreed. Cheers, boys. That's about our little soliloquy on Ethan Bear and why people shouldn't use him as a scapegoat. Ben says, Bear is good. He's coming along. Nurse used to drive me up the wall, leaving his partner behind as he pinched in way too deep in his first few seasons. Give Bear time.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Darnell's becoming a pro. That's what we're seeing.
and I think you could use, like, if you look at Darnell Nurse, look at him and, you know, the steps that he's taken year over year. Look, who knows what Ethan Bear could do.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. That's the exciting part.
Chris says, if we re-sign Barry and Larson, would you trade Bear? Depends how long I re-sign Barry for. Depends how much I re-sign Barry for. And in Larson, I feel like those are kind of two separate things, with Larson being a lefty. You know, we got lots of good depth on the left-hand side. So I don't know. I don't want to trade Bear. I don't want to trade Bear. I would trade a left-handed defenseman before we traded Bear. Yeah. Anything else from you?
No, I'm good. So
You got something on the mind? I feel like you got something on the mind.
Oh, no. I'm just thinking about tonight's game. So tonight we've got our hands full, I think.
Yep.
So I just expect it just to be a heavy hockey, tough Winnipeg team.
Yep.
They've got their backup in. We have to take advantage of that. Miko, we need you to... here's my second Deuce Vodka player mode.
Yep.
Enter your Vancouver Canucks Saturday night mode tonight, and we shouldn't have an issue. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a tight game.
There's never been a better time to be an Edmonton Oilers fan than
It's
right
good
now.
times.
There's never been a better
Spring
time.
is in the air.
Yep. The
Oilers
vibes are
buzzing.
good.
Oh, vibes are good. Just beat down on the Flames.
Yep.
It's good times.
That's 2 times this year that we've just throttled the Flames.
Oh, that's great.
Feels great.
That's so good.
Pick up some Nation beer for tonight's game. Pick up some Deuce Vodka and enjoy it. Place some wagers. Bet responsibly. Maybe place a $14,000 bet, just like Jay's friend. Or not. Maybe just be careful. But, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. This is the Nation pregame show. I'm Josh. This is Jay. Oilers versus Jets. 7 o'clock puck drop. Enjoy the game. And we will see you on
Saturday.